Dorinda Cox, a trailblazer, a voice for Indigenous Australians, and a senator who shook up politics, has made a dramatic shift. In a surprise move, she's left the Greens and joined Labour. What led to this bold decision? What challenges did she face inside the Greens? And what legacy does she leave behind? Let's break it down. Who is Dorinda Cox, and why is she significant in Australian politics? Dorinda Cox is a Yamatji Noongar woman and former police officer who became the first female Aboriginal senator for Western Australia. She entered the Senate in 2021, representing the Greens, and has been a strong advocate for Indigenous rights, women's safety, and justice reform. Her presence symbolized growing Indigenous political representation in federal politics. Why did Dorinda Cox leave the Greens? Cox cited a loss of confidence in the Greens as the key reason. She expressed disillusionment with the party's direction, internal handling of Indigenous issues, and policy execution. Sources suggest that friction around voice and influence, particularly after Lydia Thorpe's departure, may have left Cox feeling politically isolated and unsupported. When did she make her decision, and how was it received? She said the decision was made shortly after the most recent election but was formally communicated to Greens leader Larissa Waters just 90 minutes before her public announcement. The move stunned many within the party, raising questions about internal communication and trust. What setbacks and failures did she experience in her time with the Greens? Despite her public profile, Cox struggled to push through meaningful legislative reforms on Indigenous justice and gender-based violence. Critics say her efforts were often overshadowed by broader party agendas. Additionally, the party's handling of internal conflicts and resignations, such as Lydia Thorpe's exit, may have hindered her ability to lead on sensitive issues. What criticisms did analysts and political commentators level against her? Some political commentators questioned Cox's ability to maintain a distinct voice within the Greens, noting that she rarely broke ranks with the party line even when it conflicted with Indigenous perspectives. Others claimed she was more symbolic than impactful, citing limited legislative wins. However, supporters argue that structural challenges, not lack of effort, limited her influence. Why join Labour, and what does it mean for her future? Labour offers Cox a platform to influence national policy from within government ranks, potentially giving her greater reach on issues like justice reform and Indigenous policy. Her Senate term extends to 2028, giving her time to build relationships and possibly take on a ministerial or parliamentary secretary role. How has the Greens party responded to her departure? The Greens have expressed disappointment but maintained that her decision was hers to make. However, insiders reveal rising tensions over the party's Indigenous representation and strategy. The loss of Cox has left the Greens with no Indigenous members in the federal parliament. What legacy does Dorinda Cox leave behind? Cox's legacy is one of breaking barriers as an Aboriginal woman in a major political party and a vocal advocate for community-driven reform. Though her time with the Greens was marked by internal friction, her move to Labour could redefine her influence and signal a broader trend of Indigenous leaders seeking pragmatic political homes. What lessons can future politicians learn from her career? Cox's journey highlights the difficulty of balancing identity politics with party loyalty. It underscores the need for structural reform within parties to genuinely empower diverse voices, not just symbolically include them. Her decision also reinforces the importance of aligning values with effective platforms to enact real change. Finally, Dorinda Cox's political move is more than just a party switch, it's a reflection of deep challenges in Australian politics. What happens next could reshape the future of Indigenous representation at the federal level. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on Australian and global politics. Thanks for watching.